Hello, I'm Denis Greene, founder of the Stewardship System and president of Church Development. In today's Stewardship training video, we'll explore the connection between building community in your church and growing generosity. What we've discovered after helping churches with stewardship ministry for more than 20 years is that there's a direct correlation between building community and generosity. First, let's review the definition of stewardship. My favorite way to define stewardship is to view it as God's blessings flowing through me. For people to have that sense, they need to have a sense that they are connected to a community that is larger than and more long-term than just the here and now. Belonging brings belief. So when we feel connected to a church, we are much more apt to support that church. In 1 Corinthians 12:12, it says, "We are all members of the same body." That's the outcome we want from the activity of building that sense of community. There are three components to building community. Number one, we want social connections to be developed between believers. Number two, we want those members of your church to define themselves as being part of this church. You want them to see the church as a part of who they are. The third component is that we want each of those members to have a sense of feeling connected like family. It's deeper than just having friends. Knowing that the community will be there for them just as I have been there for them. In the research on best practices in stewardship, Charles Zeck discovered that if a church has 4 potluck dinners per year, their giving will be 9% above average. If they have donuts after every worship, giving goes up 6%. In my analysis of the successful capital campaigns my firm Church Development has conducted, I've learned that there's a direct correlation between event attendance and making a pledge. 98% of the people who attend an event wind up making a 3-year pledge. Why did this happen? Well, they build social connections and thus feel more included and more inclined to support the mission of the church. So you can see how important social connections are to building generosity. The methods that you can use to develop those social connections include creating an assertive welcoming program where you ask every member to be part of the welcoming committee. What this means is you ask everybody to take a step out of their comfort zone and welcome people who are new to the congregation. An active welcoming program helps people to feel connected to the church more quickly, and this facilitates an internal change towards generosity. The second and most powerful method is to build social connections, is to create an active small group ministry where individuals can develop long-term relationships between themselves and other believers. It's an essential step in one's faith journey to feel supported in a small group with like-minded people. Potluck dinners or church picnics are easy to pull off, inexpensive, are a lot of fun, and they are a surefire way to help build community. At a recent church picnic, our Stewardship System Coordinator, Matt Shanefield, told me how he shared a meal and played ultimate frisbee with 10 new friends, and that's just one person at an event with nearly 100 in attendance. In a few short hours, multiple new social connections were made. There's no substitute for spending time with people to develop true and lasting community. We recommend that you have at least 4 community building events per year. Coffee and food after worship services is also a proven winner. It's not very expensive, it's easy to organize, and these types of fellowship hours often break even by asking people to throw a buck or two in the basket. They are a great way to facilitate dialogue while people enjoy a cup of coffee or a bagel. These connections have a direct impact on generosity. Additionally, every church ought to have a special event every year, like an auction or a celebration event. A volunteer appreciation lunch or a dinner is very effective. Here are a couple success stories to encourage you. At St. Therese of Parkville, they had a difficult time generating the consensus around building a new worship space. So the pastor chose to sacrifice 2 months of his life and attend 20 events in which he gathered people together to talk about the church vision. As a result, he jokingly relayed, he gained 20 pounds. However, he also raised 250% of annual giving in pledges to the capital campaign. It was a smashing success because people came together and enjoyed community while talking about the building plans. Another good success story comes from Village Presbyterian Church. They had experienced a failed capital campaign just a few years earlier. They'd raised $2 million, which under many circumstances, would be a smashing success. However, when you compare it to what happened in their next campaign, you'll see it was not as successful as it could have been. We had the good fortune of having a donor offer to sponsor a series of events at a nearby country club. He decided to foot the bill, knowing that these social activities would have a correlation with generosity. We had more than a dozen events, and hundreds of people attended. It was fun, it was delicious food, great time for fellowship. As a result, we raised over $12 million. That's a 500% increase over the $2 million that was raised just a few years earlier. Community building is powerful, and it stirs generosity. Hopefully, what we've covered in this training video will convince you of the type of return on investment that comes as a result of building community in churches. If you need more help and want to talk about it, please call me at the number on your screen or visit our website at stewardshipsystem.org. Good luck. God bless.